Okay, I will continue to the yesterday discussion. We were at question 5. So, okay, I'll continue start from question 5. Is there anything confusing from the question 1 until question 4 before I continue to question 5? Is there anyone who get confused still? Is there anyone who get confused from question 1 until question 4, like making factor 3? Is there anyone who get confused? Finding the LCM and HCF? Is there anyone who get confused? Okay, later if you have any confusion, just feel free to ask me. No need to stay quiet, yeah. I will not get mad if you ask me any question. It will be really, really better if you ask me any question whenever you have any doubt. Okay, for the question 5, write the number as a product of prime. To get the product of prime, the first thing you have to do is making factor 3. I did not show the factor 3 because there will be so many different type of factor 3. As long as in the end of your factor 3, there will be 3 numbers of 2, 1 number of 3, 1 number of 5. And then you can make the product of prime as 2 to the power of 3 times 5. So it means your factor 3 is already correct, because for the 120, you can start it with like 2 times 60 or 3 times 40 or maybe 4 times 30, 5 times 24 and 12 times 10. And there are so many options that you can start the number 120. That's why I did not display the factor 3 for each number at this question 5 until 7, because the type of factor 3 will be different, depends on what number that you are going to use to break down the given number. So I will just display the product of primes, but if later you have any difficulties or maybe I make a typo in here for my product of primes, feel free to ask me. Do not stay quiet. So here the product of primes of 120, I got it as 2 to the power of 3 times 5. And then product of primes of 160, I got it 2 to the power of 5 times 5. For the LCM, I have to take the highest power. After the highest power, I have to take all the types of number. So in here, I can take the 2 to the, there are two options for the number 2. It can be 2 to the power of 3 or 2 to the power of 5. Since I have to take the highest power, so I will take the 2 to the power of 5. And then the other number that is common is number 5. There are two options for number 5, but they are the same, so I will just take 5. And then because I have to take all the types of number, even though number 3 is not common, I will take the number 3 still. So the LCM, later I will just do 2 to the power of 5 times 3 times 5. When I simplify it, the answer will be 480. For HCF, to find the HCF, I have to take the common number with the lowest power. So there are two options for number 2. 2 to the power of 3 and 2 to the power of 5. Because I have to take the lowest one, so I will take 2 to the power of 3. For number 5, both of them are the same, so I will just take 5. One number of 5, so I will do 2 to the power of 3 times 5, which is equals to 40. It will be the HCF. Is there anyone who get confused to find the LCM and HCF? Or maybe I talk too fast and you get confused? Feel free to ask. Anything confusing at question 5? Question 5 was your homework, so I think you can check your answer also. No? No confusion? Okay. If no one get confused, for the number 6, find the HCF of 84 and 96. So from this is also the same thing. I need to find the factor 3 of each number given. After I make a factor 3, for the HCF, I have to take the common number with the lowest power. From there, I got it as 12. 12 is, I got it from 2 to the power of 2 times 3. I got it as 12. And then for the LCM, of 84 and 96, oopsie, sorry, my screen gone. Wait, sorry. For the question 6, I'll continue. So this is the 84 and 96. Both of them I have to make a factor 3. After that, for the HCF, I have to take the common number with the lowest power. The result, it will be 2 to the power of 2 times 3, which is equals to 12. For the LCM, I have to do the same thing. I will got it as 672. If you, yeah, it was not your homework, so maybe you cannot check. If you have any confusion, please feel free to ask me. Is there anyone who get confused at number 6? Is there anyone who get confused to find the HCF and LCM? Okay, no one is asking me anything, so I think none of you get confused. For the question 7, do the same thing. For all of the number, when the question is about finding the HCF and LCM, the first thing you have to do is always making a factor 3. After the factor 3 done, you have to make a product of primes of each number. After that, you just compare the product of primes. For the HCF, we have to take the common number with the lowest power. For the LCM, I have to take all the types of number with the highest power. So the HCF, I will get it as 52. The LCM, I got it as 312. Is there anyone who got different answer or get confused at question 7? Question 7 was your homework, so you can check. If anything is confusing, please feel free to ask. No one is asking, I think. The chat box still empty. Okay, I will continue to question 8. 10 is equals to 2 times 5. 100, it will be 2 to the power of 2 times 5 to the power of 2. 1000, 2 to the power of 3 times 5 to the power of 3. Now we have to make the 10,000 as product of primes. There are two ways to do. You can make its factor 3 and then you count how many number 2, how many numbers 5 are there. And then you can make it as 2 to the power of 4 times 5 to the power of 4. Because in your factor 3, you will get 4 numbers of 2 and 4 numbers of 5. Or the other way that is easier, you can see when 10 is only 1 0, all the numbers will be having to the power of 1. Usually to the power of 1, they do not have to write it, so it will be just written as 2 times 5. 10 to the power of 2, there are 2 zeros. And then the number, each number, it will be to the power of 2. When it is 1000, 3 zeros, each number will be to the power of 3. So it means for the 10,000, there are 4 zeros. So it means each number will be to the power of 4. Is there anyone who get confused? Is there anyone who get confused? Or maybe I'll talk too fast and you do not get it what I am talking or something. Is there anyone who get confused? Feel free to ask if you have any confusion. Do not stay quiet. My internet still audible. My internet still there, right? I'm still connected to you, right? Because no one is saying anything to the chat box. No one is unmuting themselves. So is there anyone who get confused? Okay. If no one get confused, I will move to the next question. Feel free to ask whenever you have any question. Do not stay quiet. For the question 9, there is a person said that I'm thinking of two prime numbers. He did not mention what prime number is it, but the girl said that she can guess what is the HCF. The boys also can find the LCM. How do they do it? For the prime numbers, they will be only having one number, that is, for prime number, the only factors of prime number will be only one and one number itself. So they will be only having two factors. So for whatever prime numbers that you have, the HCF will be always equals to 1 because the only common factor is only number 1. To find the LCM, we have to multiply all the type of number. So the type of number in here, because they are prime, so the type of number is the number given itself. So to find the LCM, we just need to multiply those two prime numbers. Is there anyone who get confused, or maybe my explanation is still confusing for you? Is there anyone who get confused at question 9? No confusion or have confusion? Okay, if no one have no confusion, I will move to question 10. For the question 10, what do we have in the question 10? Write the 81 as product of prime. To find the product of prime, yes, the first thing you have to do is making factor 3. The factor 3 in here, it will be up to you. You can, the 81, you can start it by 3 times 27 or 9 times 9. Later, in the end of your factor 3, you will find 4 numbers of 3. That's why for the 81, for the product of primes, it will be 3 to the power of 4. And then for the 154, you can start it with any number. You can start it by 2 times 77 or 7 times 22 or any other number else. So later in the end of your factor 3, it will be 2 times 7 times 11. And then now for the question C, explain why the HCF of 81 and 154 must be 1. To find the HCF, we have to take the common number with the lowest power. But now from the A and B, there is no common number, there is no common factor. Because they have no common factor, it means their HCF will be equals to 1. Is there anyone who get confused, or maybe I talk too fast and you get confused? Is there anyone who get confused? No confusion? Okay. If no confusion, then I will move to the next exercise on your textbook page 10. Really, for sure, no question, yeah? Feel free to ask if you have any question. Do not stay quiet. It's always okay for all of you to clarify all your doubt. Okay. If you have no question, I will move to the exercise 1.4. Question 1. We have to find the value of each of number given. 2 to the power of 3, it means there are 3 numbers of 2 and then we need to multiply all of them. So for 2 to the power of 3, it will be 2 times 2 times 2, which is equals to 8. For 3 to the power of 3, yeah, it will be 3 times 3 times 3, which is equals to 27. 4 to the power of 3, it will be 4 times 4 times 4, which is equals to 64. 5 to the power of 3, it will be 5 times 5 times 5, which is equals to 125. And then the last one, 10 to the power of 3, it will be 10 times 10 times 10, which is equals to 1000. Is there anyone who get confused? Is there anyone who get confused? No. If no one get confused for the question 2, this is to the power of 4. So it means there are 4 numbers of 2 and then we need to multiply all of them. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is equals to 16. 3 to the power of 4, yeah, it will be also the same. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is equals to 81. 4 to the power of 4, it will be 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, which is equals to 256. And then the last one, 10 to the power of 4, it will be 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is equals to 10,000. Is there anyone who get confused? No confusion? Okay. If no one get confused, I will move to the question 3. For the question 3, 4 to the power of 4 is equals to 2 to the power of 4. If you get confused, it will be easier if you break down the number 4 into 2 times 2. So it means for each that 4 to the power of 4, it means there are 4 numbers of 2 and 4 numbers of 4, and then each number of 4 I will break down into 2 times 2. So it will be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and then times again with 2 times 2. This is, and then the last one we multiplied again with 2 times 2. So now when we can calculate how many numbers 2 are there. There are 8 numbers of 2. So it means 4 to the power of 4, I can make it as 2 to the power of 8. Is there anyone who get confused? Or maybe my explanation is too fast? So Because this is 4 to the power of 4, it will be 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, wait. Yeah. 4 to the power of 4, it will be equals to, wait, something like this. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. And then each number of 4, I will break down into 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And so on. So I can simplify it. When I count, there are 8 numbers of 2. So it means it will be 2 to the power of 8. For 9 to the power of 3, 9 to the power of 3, it means there are 3 numbers of 9. We need to multiply them. Since the question is making the 9 into 3 to the power of something, so the number 9 I will break down into 3 times 3. And then the other 9 also I will break down into 3 times 3. The other 9 again, the last 9 I will multiply, I will change it into 3 times 3. So now when I count, there are 6 number of 3. That's why it will be 3 to the power of 6. So the n it will be equals to 8, and then the m it will be equals to 6. Is there anyone who get confused at question 3? No, for sure. Okay, if you have no confusion, I will move to question 4. The number 100 has 2 square roots. When it says square roots with letter S, so it means the square root will be having 2 answers, the positive and negative answer. So the square root of 100, it will be 10 and also negative 10. In here, for the question A, what is their sum? Sum, if you don't know what is sum means plus. And then for product, it means times. So we have to plus them to find the sum, and then we have to multiply them to find the product. If I plus 10 plus negative 10, the answer will be equals to 0. That's why their sum is equals to 0. And then for the product it will be 10 times negative 10, which is equals to negative 100. Is there anyone who get confused, or maybe my explanation is too confusing for you? You need and more explanation? No? Okay. If no one get confused, I will move to question 5. Okay, for the question 5, find the square roots of each number. It says square root, so it means the answer will be in positive and negative answer. Square roots of 1, it will be 1 and negative 1. Square root of 36, 6 and negative 6. 169, 13 and negative 13. 256, it will be 16 and negative 16. 361, it will be 19 and negative 19. So please read the question carefully. If the question says square roots with letter S, the answer will be 2. Positive and negative answer. Is there anyone who get confused? No? Okay. If no one get confused, I will continue to question 6. For the question 6 in here, show that 3 to the power of 3 minus 1 divided by 2 is equals to 3 to the power of 2 plus 3 plus 1. So in here, the things that you have to do is try to calculate. Is the calculation on the left side is equals to the calculation on the right side. So we check. I will start checking from the left side. 3 to the power of 3 will be equals to 27. 27 minus 1, it will be equals to 26. 26 divided by 2 is equals to 13. So the answer at 6A for the left side is 13. Now I'll check the right side. 3 to the power of 2 is 9. 9 plus 3 plus 1, the answer is 13. So it means, yes, this is correct that the left side and the right side, they are having the same answer. So yeah, it means the equation is correct. The sign equation in here, it means the result on the left side have to be equal with the result on the right side. Have to be balanced. Now for the question B, this is also show that so it means we have to check it again. Check from the left side. 4 to the power of 3, it will be equals to 64. 64 minus 1 is 63. 63 divided by 3 is 21. 21 on the left side. Now I will move to the right side. Is it also will be 21? 4 to the power of 2 is 16. 16 plus 4 plus 1, the result is also 21. Both of them is equals to 21. Now I have to make similar equation that using the 5 to the power of 3. To find the similar equation, you have to look at the expression given. For the expression in here, we have that the cube number is subtracted by 1. So it means 5 to the power of 3 will be subtracted by 1. Because this is 3 to the power of 3 is minus 1. 4 to the power of 3 is also minus 1. But when you check the denominator, all the denominator are not the same. So what denominator do I have to use? You have to compare it one by one. When the cube number, the base number is 3, the denominator is 2. So it means the denominator is 1 less than the cube number. Now if I check 4 to the power of 3, the denominator is also 3. Oh, so it means later if I have 5 to the power of 3, my denominator has to be 4 because the difference between the cube number and denominator has to be 1. So now I have on the left side, I have expression 5 to the power of 3 minus 1 divided by 4. That's it. And then for the right side, now I will check again. When it is 3 to the power of 3, on the right side, it will become 3 to the power of 3, number 3 only without the power, and then 1. 4 to the power of 3, 4 to the power of 2, and then 4 without power, and then 1. So it means if I have 5 to the power of 3, I have to start it with 5 to the power of 2, 5 without power, and then the last one is 1. So this is the expression. You cannot make the 5 to the power of 3 as 5 times 5 times 5. Yes, 5 to the power of 3 is 5 times 5 times 5. But in here, read the question. Write similar expression. Similar expression. So we have to follow the two expression given. You cannot make your own expression. We have to follow the shown expression that is already given by the question 6A and B. Is there anyone who get confused at question 6? Is there anyone who get confused? If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Don't stay quiet. Because, yeah, most of you, I think, get difficulties in here when I check the homework. If I type it through the comment, maybe the answer will not be really understandable. So now I'm explaining. If you have any confusion and you still confused, feel free to ask. No confusion for sure. Okay. If you have no confusion, I will move to the next question. Question 7. The numbers in the box are identical in value. Identical in value, so it means all of them are the same. 2 to the power of 12 will be equals to 4096. 4 to the power of 6, it will be 4096. 16 to the power of 3, it will be also equals to 4096. 64 to the power of 2, it's also 4096. All of the indices number in here, when you change it into a normal number, the answer will be equals to 4096. Now for the question 7, we have the square root. If it is a square root, it will be easier if you take the square number. So now I will just change the 4096, I will change it into 64 to the power of 2. So I will have the square root of 64 to the power of 2. The power and the root will cancelling each other. So I just can cancel the square root in here. I will cancel it with to the power of 2. I will cancel them. So the leftover one is 64. The answer is 64, not 64 to the power of 2. The answer of square root will be not having power 2. Most of you sometimes when finding the square root of 4, write it as 2 to the power of 2, do not, and not writing it as number 2 only. So this is the square root of square number. You can just cancel the square root and also the sign the square itself. So the leftover one is 64. So it means the square root of 4096 is equals to 64. Now for the question B, I have the cube root of 4096. Because it is a cube root, it will be easier if I take the cube number. So I will take the 16 to the power of 3. This is cube number and to the power of 3. So it means I can cancel the power of 3 with the cube root. This is, I will just cancel all of them. So the leftover one will be only number 16. Do not write it as 16 to the power of 3. So that's why the answer for A is equals to 64. The answer for B is 16. No power on the answer. Is there anyone who get confused, or maybe I'll talk too fast? If you think I talk too fast, you can remind me, teacher, please slow down or something. Because if you are being quiet, so I think that you are okay with how I'm talking. So is there anyone who get confused, or maybe I talk too fast or something? No confusion for sure. Okay, if no confusion, I will move to question 8. Find the value of. When it is only a square root sign, the answer will be only positive number. But when it says find the square roots with letter S, the answer will be negative and positive. So for the question 8, the answer will be only 11, not 11 and negative 11, because we read it as square root without S. Without S, it means the answer we will take the positive one. Square root of 286, the answer will be 17, not 17 and negative 17. Square root of 400, it will be 20. Square root of 1, the answer is 1. Is there anyone who get confused, or maybe I talk too fast? You are getting confused or something? No confusion? Have confusion? Please feel free to ask. No confusion for sure? For sure, no confusion? Okay. If you have no confusion, I will move to the next question. Yeah, to the last 3 questions. Find the value of cube root of 8, cube root of 125. So in here, if you do not know how to answer it, it will be easier if you make the cube number list from 1 cube until 10 cube. Please kindly find it, because usually start from 1 cube until 10 cube. It will be axis on your checkpoint question, and usually the question will be not allowing using calculator. So maybe you can make a list, and then from that list, whenever you have question, when it is on the exercise, you can look through your list. Later, by looking and by reading the same list, you will be able to remember it by yourself. So please, if you it will be better if you make a list start from the 1 cube until 10 cube, and then for the square number, make list for a 1 square until 20 square. If it is possible, you can try to memorize it. If you are not able to memorize it, so later you have to do a calculation to find how many is 3 cube, how many is 2 cube. You have to check it one by one. 2 cube, it will be 2 times 2 times 2. You have to calculate it, something like that. So now we have the cube root of 8. It will be equals to 2, because 2 to the power of 3 is 8. And then cube root of 125 is equals to 5, because 5 to the power of 3 is equals to 128. And then for cube root of 27, the answer is 3, because 3 to the power of 3 is equals to 27. Cube root of 1000, the answer will be 10, because 10 cube is equals to 1000. Is there anyone who get confused, or maybe I talk too fast or something? Feel free to ask, feel free to clarify your doubt. No confusion? Okay. If you have no confusion, I will move to the next question. to the question 10, 11 to the power of 3 is equals to 1331. If it is 11 to the power of 4, you just need to do 1331, you multiplied by 11. Later the answer will be 14,641. So later please check if maybe you make a wrong calculation on multiplying the big number or not. You can check it. It was your homework. And then for cube root of 1331, the answer is 11. Because the 11 to the power of 3 is equals to 1331. Yes, Regan, you can go, but please be back soon. Okay. If you no one have no confusion, is there anyone have confusion? I haven't asked, sorry. Is there anyone have any difficulties or confusion? No. If no one have no confusion, I will move to question 11. A square root of 25 could be less than a square root of 16. Why? Because the square root of 25, there are two options of the square roots. It can be positive and negative answer. So for the square roots of 25, it can be 5 or negative 5. And then square roots of 16, it can be 4 and also negative 4. So yes, the Alicia sentence, it could be correct because negative 5 is less than 4. Negative 5 is also less than negative 4. Is there anyone who get confused or maybe my explanation is too confusing? Is there anyone who get confused? No? Okay. If no one get confused, this is the last question from the chapter 1. I will move to the chapter 2. We still have like 5 minutes left. I will discuss maybe like one question in the exercise 1.2. Really, no one have question? Okay. If no one have no question, I will move to the next page in your textbook, page 11. Oh, wait. Yeah. Wait. Okay. For the exercise 2.1, page 11, write down the first three terms of each sequence. The first term is 3. Term to term rule is add 2. So I have to write down the first term. The first term is 3. And then to get the next term, I have to add it by 2. 3 plus 2 will be equals to 5. For the next term, I have to add it by 2. That's why I will got it 7. Yeah. And then for the question B,